So, nachdem wir hier diese Hochschule da besucht haben, oder Hochschule, nicht eine Grundschule war es sogar, glaube ich, ne? Sehr militaristisch, haben wir jetzt hier das Briefing für die Bildungsreform. We were still in Lyran, staying at a modest guest house for state employees. Chiara set up a meeting with me and Lucian to go over her plans for education reform after our school visit. Lucian was seated across from me at the table, going through documents. Chiara entered the room. After the visit yesterday, I couldn't even sleep thinking about that little boy and girl. I've never been more sure of my intentions to reform our education system. Lucian took off his reading glasses and put it on the table. Ja, die Bildungsreform ist notwendig. Exactly. Those students have to repeat that same soulless propaganda every single day. They are being brainwashed at an age when their minds need to be free. On top of that, young girls are denied the same opportunity as boys. They are forced into the role of housewives before they even reach puberty. Nothing's changed since I went to school. Women like me, Lilea, Snia, even your wife, we had to study twice as hard to receive the same university education that you and Lucian took for granted. Is that the kind of country you want your daughter to grow up in? Mr. President, we need to bring change. We need to free the minds of these young people. They are our future. What do we need? We need to keep politics out of the curriculum. Seoul should only be viewed as a historical figure. Children shouldn't have to repeat his name every day. This is actively poisoning young bright minds. Instead of thinking for themselves, they are learning to take things at face value. We also need to ensure boys and girls receive the same instructions. Handcrafts like knitting and sewing should be taught to both sexes or not at all. Sordlands youth must be technically skilled and capable for the next decade. That won't be possible with the amount of nationalistic indoctrination and narrow-minded thinking found in schools today. Either we raise a generation ready for the challenges of the future or not. What will it be? Reform. You will not regret it. I will get to work immediately. Now that the decision is made, let's move on. Very well. Chiara skimmed over her documents before continuing. After the budget increase, the ministry quickly began formulating plans on how to effectively use the money. But before moving forward, the questions of keeping education fully state-funded or allowing a new private school remains open. Privatschulen. Nein. Education should remain as a state service only. Certainly this is the most ideal situation. I agree. The government should be responsible of managing education completely. State education is contrary to our overall economic strategy of promoting a market economy. A few minutes of deliberation passed. We have enough money to improve education in Sordland. We do not need to complicate things further with a privatization incentive. So what is your decision? Also über die Privatisierung könnten wir mehr Geld einnehmen. Das würde mehr zu mehr Wettkampf und damit mehr Qualität führen. Nein, wir brauchen, was wir brauchen, ist ein solides, gutes, demokratisches Bildungssystem. We need to prevent interference from private interests. Will do. That should be it for now. I will get to work and report back later. This has been a very productive day. I will be returning to Hosort. Have a good day. We dispersed after spending nearly the entire day together. I took a moment simply to breathe the fresh evening air of Lyran. I felt calmer here somehow, but I would have to return to the chaos of Hosort soon enough. Lackhaven Times berichtet, Kibbener sagt, Rayne is making a mistake. Head of Sordland's second opposition party, the National Front Party, Kesaro Kibbener, has said President Wayne not be able to keep ruling the country without addressing policies that have negatively affected our security, culture and economy. He blamed President Rayne for not being open to any discussion about proper reforms. Kibner also criticized the PFJP leader Franz Richter for supporting President Rayne. NFP cannot be a part of this nonsensical collaboration anymore, as it has been transformed into an anti-nationalist committee, said Kibner. He also explained his concerns over how PFJP supported Circassian imperialism and only cared about profit at the expense of the Sordish people. Rayne is making a mistake by working together with Richter, said Kibner, and criticized the committee for not discussing the real issues. Ja gut, aber mit seiner Unterstützung haben wir sowieso nicht gerechnet. Das ist jetzt, glaube ich, keine große Überraschung. Bildungssystem verbessert. Oh, es gibt eine neue Meldung aus Rumburg. Queen Beatrice Livingston calls Sordland a threat to world peace. Ja, auf jeden Fall. Queen Beatrice Livingston appeared on TV to call Sordland not just a threat to peace in eastern Maricopa, but a threat to peace in the entire world. She condemned the riots and police violence in Sordland, also expressing her worries about the direction Sordland is headed. She urged the Rumburgian army to secure the southern border, citing violent incidents in northern Sordland. Tja, die Bedrohung spitzt sich zu im Norden. Die wollen ihre imperialistischen Pläne wahrscheinlich bald in die Tat umsetzen. The Ministry of Education has started working on education reforms. Details will be finalized over the upcoming months. If the reform package is accepted, the next steps of this process would be to discuss the indoctrination of education. Read the report from Hosord. United Contana launches a second satellite. Intelligence reports that United Contana successfully launched a second satellite, which has the capability of radio communications. Bleep, beep, 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 beep. This means that United Contana radio communications will be able to be transmitted through a satellite for the first time ever, a technology that no other country currently possesses. Tja, dafür haben die anderen Interkontinentalraketen. So, Gloria Torrey treffen wir, um über die Reformen zu sprechen. I arrived at the Grand National Assembly, which was only a 5-minute drive away from the palace. Today I had a private meeting with Gloria Torrey, one of the leading figures of the USP. Sie ist doch auch die Sprecherin des Parlaments, ja? Ich will da draufklicken. Ja, sie ist das zweite Mal als Speaker of the Parliament. One of the leading figures. She was also key in reaching 150 signatures to propose the new constitution, as she had extensive control over our party's conservative and moderate wings. As I walked through the corridors of the Grand National Assembly, I was confronted by my memories of the historic building. Despite being a member of Assembly not long ago, it now felt like a distant past. I walked into the left wing of the Assembly, which currently acted as the quarters of the USP. Gloria's office was the first one inside. I knocked on the door and entered. Hello, Gloria. Good to see you here, Mr. Rayne. It was a small, neatly organized office. There were small figurines, photos and plants around the place. It had a homey feeling, unlike my own assembly office when I had worked there. On her gesture, I took a seat. The chair was very uncomfortable. I love what you did with the office. She smiled. A woman's touch, they call it. Like man cannot have a sense of tidiness or style. Which might actually be true. Anyway, let's keep this simple, Mr. Rayne. We both know why we are here. You want me to give you my support. I don't see why the backbone of the USP would support your rushed reforms. Don't you realize they go directly against the wishes of the founder of this party and the state? Sie richten sich gegen niemanden, sie sind im Namen der Demokratie. Ich brauche ihre Hilfe. Oder es sind kritische Reformen für die Zukunft Sordlands. I need you to help me. It's all in the name of democracy. Also sie war unter Sol. Wann war Alfonso an der Macht? Winning against Tag in Seoul 46. 46. Das heißt, sie war unter Seoul im oder soll oder wie auch immer Sonderberaterin des Innenministers. Und war dann gegen Ewald Alfonsos Reformagenda. She became famed for her obstructions in the assembly of some of his policies. Regarded as a charismatic politician and a tough negotiator, she is credited for major lobbying incidents. Okay, es wird schwer sein, mit ihr zu verhandeln. Aber ist sie eine überzeugte Demokratin? Ist sie wahrscheinlich nicht. Wenn sie unter Sol im Ministerium gearbeitet oder in verschiedenen Ministerien gearbeitet hat. Ich brauche deine Hilfe. So you want me to help you destroy what our party has worked so hard to build. You'd like the USP to disintegrate, wouldn't you? Even though you owe everything to Colonel Sol, I think you never liked him nor the party he built. Das war, glaube ich, die falsche Option. Das ist nichts Persönliches. Nein, das ist zu... I would never betray our party. Whatever you intend to do, you will be facing quite the opposition. That's all I can say. You must understand that these reforms are a necessity. I'm sure we can make a deal. Das ist schwierig. Vertrackte Situation. Vor allem, was heißt das Make a Deal? Bestechen will ich nicht. Man kann natürlich einen Handel, einen Vergleich machen, wie man so schön sagt, aber diese Reformen sind notwendig. Ich tendiere zu dem zweiten, glaube aber, dass das erste wahrscheinlich... Ja, aber nee, dann... Vielleicht glaubt sie dann, dass wir sie bestechen wollen. Das will ich auch nicht. You must understand that these reforms are a necessity. Let me explain. How? So, jetzt gibt es hier 3 Optionen. Wir müssen die uneingeschränkte Macht des Supreme Courts einschränken. Das Volk verlangt einen Wandel. Wir müssen ihnen den Wandel geben, damit die Partei die Unterstützung behält. Oder die USP ist die Partei, die weiß, wie man auf Wandel reagiert und muss die Nation in die Zukunft führen. Ich glaube, bei 1 wird sie nicht zustimmen, weil das ist, ich meine, dass das Supreme Court so stark ist, ist ja ein Kernelement von Souls Verfassung gewesen. Also, entweder das Volk will den Wandel und wir müssen das machen, weil wir die Unterstützung des Volkes brauchen. Oder die Partei. Die Partei hat immer recht. Ich glaube, das würde ihr besser gefallen, oder? The USP is a party that knows how to react. We must lead the nation into the future. Es ist so, wir müssen das machen. Wir sind die Partei. Und nicht, wir lassen uns vom Volk diktieren, was sie gerade wollen. Ich glaube, das spricht sie eher an, ohne dass wir damit sozusagen eigentlich natürlich unsere Position aufgeben würden. That's for the party to decide, not you. I seriously do not know if the Conservatives would be willing to support you at all, especially when you are trying to decrease the electoral threshold. You must know this will mean bringing the communists into the assembly. We probably have a deal with either of them. Maybe the PFJP. Friends seem to be positive about giving you support too. Also, das ist wichtig für die Demokratisierung. Ich will das nicht abblocken. Ich will sie auch nicht attackieren. I can reconsider the decrease in the threshold. Ja, ist das eine Option für uns? Also es war schon klar, dass da jetzt der Opposition dagegen kommt. Ist es eine Option, quasi jetzt zu dealen und zu sagen, okay, von 3, wir gehen nicht auf 3% runter, sondern nur auf 8%? Ich meine, das ändert nichts an der Feststellung, dass die Kommunisten dann ins Parlament kommen und auch die Sordische Partei, die Arbeiterpartei. Muss man von der Maximalforderung abweichen, um die Konservativen zu überzeugen. Ich kann nochmal niemals. Aber sollen wir so einfach so schnell nachgeben? Das ist ja auch das Ding. Wenn sie eine starke Verhandlerin ist, was uns der Kodex sagt, dann ist das vielleicht zu schnell nachgegeben. Demokratisierung. I don't know how your acts can even be justified inside the USP. Decreasing the threshold to 3% is unacceptable. You will be bringing all of the marginal parties into the assembly and reducing our majority. I cannot allow you to destroy our party. Either this point is removed entirely, or there will be no discussions. Entirely, das heißt, sie will bei 10% bleiben, ja? I will remove the change to this threshold. Nein. Einzige Option wäre halt auf allerhöchstens auf 8% zu gehen. Will that ensure your support? Wenn wir halt mal wüssten, wie groß die Reformistinnengruppe in unserer eigenen Partei ist. Wie viele Stimmen hatten wir? 85. Wenn wir jetzt mal annehmen würden, dass das alle Stimmen von der PFJP und den Unabhängigen sind, wären das 5 Stimmen aus der eigenen Partei. Aber ich will mich nicht verkaufen. Fragen wir erstmal nach. I don't know what to say before seeing a commitment. Ja, Deal or no deal, ne? Wenn ich das klicke, dann bedeutet das doch, dass die 10% Hürde bleibt, oder nicht? Ich kann nicht mehr entscheiden, oder? Ob ich von 3 auf 8% gehen will. Amentis, weißt du das zufällig? I will remove the change to the threshold. Ich meine, weil das ist ja das, was sie fordert, das komplett aufzuheben. I don't know what to say before seeing a commitment. Same goes for me. Ja, dann sagt sie, okay. Dann sagt sie halt, ja, dann passiert halt nichts. Das ist ja in ihrem Interesse, also wir wollen was von ihr, ist das Problem. Ich kann nicht, die 10% Hürde ist halt Wahnsinn, das geht nicht. Sag mir, ob ich dir vertrauen kann. All I can promise is that the conservatives will definitely oppose you unless you remove that clause. Ja, damit kann ich aber leben. Glaube ich. Ich weiß ja nicht, wie groß die sind. I cannot promise. Alright, I'm sorry, I won't be able to help you. I wish you good luck gathering the signatures you need. She suddenly stood up. I must get back to work. Thanks for stopping by. She extended her hand to me for a handshake. I'm not finished. I'm not going anywhere until you give me the signatures. Jetzt können wir vielleicht... Können wir jetzt ein bisschen Druck ausüben. Also, shake her hand und weggehen machen wir nicht. Walk away without shaking her hand, das bringt sie nur noch mehr auf die Palme. Ich bin noch nicht fertig. Ich bin noch nicht fertig. Sie ist eine Verhandlerin, wir verhandeln. Please do not humiliate yourself further. You will give me the signatures. I don't care if it's willingly or not. Don't forget who you are talking to. Das ist, glaube ich, schlecht, wenn der Präsident der Sprecherin des Parlaments droht. Oh Mann. Tja, und jetzt die große philosophische Frage. Welche Opfer ist man bereit zu bringen für das Wohl, das größere Wohl? Komm, es muss einen anderen Weg geben. Goodbye. Alban and the reformist wing was my last hope to get the needed 150 signatures. Ja, aber der ist doch wohl auf jeden Fall auf meiner Seite, oder was? Even then it looked quite uncertain if we could get 166 votes. Ja, das glaube ich auch. I went outside. Serge drove me back to the palace where I met Lucian and told him the bad news. Und ich kann ihn sogar direkt treffen. Das machen wir noch. Das will ich jetzt wissen. Jetzt will ich es wissen. After our meeting with Gloria Torrey and further discussions with the party and my cabinet, it was time to talk to Alban Cleven to get the reformist wing to support the proposal. I also planned to finally present a more fleshed out proposal and declare our agenda to the party after our meeting. I walked into the left wing of the assembly and entered the quarters of the USB. When I reached the meeting hall, I saw many of our members conversing inside. After taking a glimpse inside, I went back into the corridor to look for the office of Alban Cleven, which was around the back of the place. Viele Parteimitglieder sind gerade in die Parteizentrale gegangen. When I reached his room, I knocked on his door and entered. Mr. President, welcome. The whole room was surrounded by bookshelves packed with files and papers. It was a small office with books and dossiers lying on every corner. It felt claustrophobic. On his gesture, I took a seat. Did a bomb drop in this office? How is everything going, Mr. Cleven? It's been busy. The party has been working very hard, Mr. President. Thank you for asking. How is it going for you in the palace? It depends on our meeting. Sind wir ehrlich? Kann man was sagen? An aggressive debater and a strong supporter of Ewald Alfonso. Ja. Also müssen wir ihm so ein bisschen vorspielen. Ach, er hat ja sogar gegen uns kandidiert. Dann machen wir mal gute Miene zum bösen Spiel, huh? I'm feeling pretty good. That's great to hear. I wanted to express my gratitude for passing the Workers' Rights Act. Wie passt das eigentlich wieder zusammen? Habe ich mich, glaube ich, schon mal gefragt. Wieso ist er für ArbeitnehmerInnenrechte, wenn er ein Hardliner für die freie Marktwirtschaft ist? Komisch. It is one of my most comprehensive and successful political efforts. The workers' revolution will begin. You and I see eye to eye on many subjects. Ja, schmieren wir ein bisschen Honig um den Bart. Music to my ears. It wouldn't be possible without Pascal Benniwald's support. The labor union and several NGOs like Magnus Carter's also contributed to the campaigning. Alban smiled and knocked on wood. Anyway, sir, let's talk about the proposal. Thanks for coming here for my input, because there are some subjects where Gloria and I don't see eye to eye. I have to say that most of the progressives were already starting to warm up to you. Your attempt at changing the constitution created quite a bit of excitement. One could dare to say an excitement that hasn't been felt since the 30s. I've already read the proposal you've made. It looks pretty good. No surprise that Mrs. Torrey didn't give her support. Look, Mr. President, I'm on the same side as you. I won't create any problems. Any help is much appreciated. He looked down at the proposal. It's looking good. I will support... Aha. I will support the proposal and get the needed signatures from our wing. I believe the reformist votes that I have will be very important. Who knows, maybe you'll consider me for a job in the government in the future. Machen wir mal keine Zusage, sondern sagen, wir erwarten die Stimmen. Of course, I will talk to my guys shortly. I'll have their signatures soon. Thank you, Mr. Clevin. See you in the conference. I left his room and went back into the corridor. The meeting had exhausted me. I went to the restaurant of the assembly to get something to eat while conversing with other members of our party. I saw Alban talking to his people in the distance. After a while, the preparations for the conference began and I went back into the conference hall and prepared my notes for the speech I was going to make. Achso, deswegen waren die Parteimitglieder da zusammengekommen. It took time to get all of the present members of the party inside the hall. Gloria Tori announced me from the stand. I walked up to the stand as everybody in the room started clapping. Brothers and sisters. Also, wir sprechen mit der Partei, beziehungsweise mit der Fraktion, muss man ja mal sagen. Die Partei ist ja sicherlich größer. Ladies and Gentlemen of the Party. Dear Members of the Assembly. Also es ist im Grunde eigentlich eine eher konservative Partei, ja? Wie spricht man die an? Also Brüder und Schwestern, wo fangen wir nicht an? Liebe Mitglieder des Parlaments. Das ist, glaube ich, zu distanziert von der Partei. Wir wollen ja die Partei unterstützen. Also, Ladies and Gentlemen of the Party. I came here today to announce the agenda for the future of our country. I started my speech with the reasons of the changes to the Constitution. Our system and institutions have increasingly become undemocratic over the decades after Seoul tightened his grip on the country. Since then, we have a Supreme Court that obstructs the duties of the President and the Assembly. We must finally be brave enough to go against the status quo that they created and write a new constitution. I paused when some people started clapping, but it was short-lived. After taking a breath, I continued. Target the old guard. I brought attention to the people's protest and the slight decrease in the popularity of USP. I explained how our proposal will only be beneficial for everybody. The moderates that sat in the center started applauding. Aha. Later I explained the contents of the new constitution and asked for the full support for the proposal. I ordered them to vote. I threatened them to vote. I asked for their votes. Ja, also die Solisten, die finden wahrscheinlich das Ordern am besten. Aber es passt nicht zur Agenda, ne? Ask for their votes. The reformist wing on the left stood up and started clapping loudly after Alban Clevin made a sign. I saluted everybody in the room one last time and bid them farewell before leaving the stand. I walked outside the assembly and back into the palace. Also die Moderaten scheinen auch positiv eingestellt zu sein, was schon mal was Gutes ist. President Rayne has met with his party members in a party meeting in the Grand National Assembly of Sordland, where the current situation of the country and future plans of the party were likely discussed. It was later reported that President Rayne used the meeting to give a speech to the party and announced the contents of the first draft of the new constitution. The details of the meeting were not made public, nor what the draft contained. Und damit kommen wir zum Ende des 4. Zugs. Und ich bin super, super gespannt, wie es weitergeht, liebe Leute.